This is Mark Archer from Alternate, and you're listening to Six Towns Radio.
Broadcasting to Stoke-on-Trent and the world. This is Six Towns Radio.
Time for a special guest. You've seen that Alternate are trying to get Christmas #1. In the midweek charts, it was number 30. And from Alternate right now on the line, I've got Mark Archer. How are you, mate? You okay?
I'm sound. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I was dead surprised to see this, and I suppose you were, because somebody set a campaign up first of all. When did you first hear about it?
It was about a month and a half, 2 months ago. I got sent a Facebook link, which was a campaign to get one of our old tracks to #1 in the charts, and it was set up by a chap from Brighton, and the page had about 6 likes on it, a couple of photos and a couple of YouTube links, but that was it. There was no plan at all whatsoever, how to get the track or even to get it released or whatever. So I posted it up on my Facebook, and after the weekend, there was like over 10,000 likes on it. So obviously there was support there. So we got in touch with the record label to see whether they'd actually re-release the single.
Yeah, and a lot of DJs have backed it. I've seen it all over my wall for a while now. Are you surprised by the backing you've had? Totally.
I mean, when we made the tune like 22 years ago, we were just making tunes to get played at raves. So we weren't expecting there to be like a massive shelf life of the songs. They were very much for there and then. So like 22 years later, when you get a track come out and people are still like mad into it.
Yeah.
I knew it, we've had like 27,000 likes on the campaign page now. It's just mental the amount of love that there is for the tune.
Yeah, indeed. And it's bringing it out to a new market as well. A lot of these kids that are going raves now won't have heard it or might not have heard about it. And they're getting a chance to hear it as well.
Yeah, it's brought the tune to a totally new generation. I mean, there's everyone who remembers the tune from back in the day. And I mean, when I go out and DJ, you get people who say weren't old enough to go to raves,
yeah.
But their older brothers and sisters were going, and they'd be handed down like the tapes and what have you. And there's also the people who were say like 18 and 19 now who have been brought up on the music by the parents. So there's a mad cross section of people who are getting to hear the tune.
Yeah, I was at the right age. I was like about 17, 18 when it all kicked off in the late 80s, and I remember it really well. And of course, you were a big part of that, not just in the charts, but as you've just said, DJing as well. How important do you think Staffordshire has been to the rave scene?
Oh, I mean, with the whole scene that's in Stoke and well, especially Stoke more so than Stafford.
Yeah.
It's right from 1988. I mean, I used to go out to acid house nights in Stoke. People had come down from Manchester and the like, and obviously people from Stoke and Stafford go up to Manchester to see what it was like at the hacienda, and there was a big melting pot of people who were into the whole thing, and it just grew and grew right through to the nights at Shelley's and stuff. I mean, Shelley's it's just a legendary club of that era.
Yeah, the police shut down in the end. It was such a shame. And of course, there was Golden and a few other clubs after. And I think right now, in 2030, it seems that, club culture's slowly creeping back, isn't it? As it was. But it'll never be as big as it was, but it is coming back. There's more nights being put on again.
Yeah, it's a really healthy state at the moment. I mean, there's very, very much up and down within the whole house scene. But it's looking really healthy at the moment. So many new artists coming out, and I think the old school scene benefits from the new scenes when they start looking back at the tunes and maybe being influenced by the rave tracks. And so we're getting sound samples and stuff on new dubstep tunes and new house tunes, and it makes people go back and listen to some of the older stuff and get into it. So it's really healthy all round.
Yeah, pity there's not as many record shops around. A lot of it's gone online now, and that's a bit of a shame, because that was one of the things that DJs always liked to do, was go out and find tunes, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it is really nice to have something physical in front of you. but the way things change, and obviously there's progress with certain formats and DJ and everything. A lot of people using laptops and what have you to DJ from. So the tunes are easy to get a hold of now. I mean, I remember going to record shops and you'd have to like proper root through racks and racks of records to try and find stuff you want, where it's all laid out for you on the internet. But it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. I suppose, the ready availability of all music is obviously great for DJs now, but I still miss going out and looking for stuff. I really do.
Yeah. It was, something that the DJs really got into, and always trying to find that tune that no one else had. Yeah.
I talked to a lot of our DJs. You know most of them who do the dance stuff on here. Of course, Daz Willett. Are you with tomorrow at Minster's, aren't you? In Stoke?
Yes.
Yeah, you know Daz, of course, from Shelley's. We've got Lee Fredericks, of course, you know him. Danny and Kelv did a show on here, and all those guys, they put the music out, and we think it's people, of a 30-plus generation that are listening, but it's not. There's a lot of 18-year-olds who are going out to the clubs who are really embracing that older scene as well.
Yeah, it is nice. When I was like getting stuff in the late 80s, early 90s, you always looked back to tunes, that had influenced them. So it's always good to do a bit of crate digging.
Yeah, definitely. So on Sunday's chart, let's go back to that. You're 30 in midweek, right? How many sales would it take to get into the top 10 at least?
They were saying on the chart update that we needed another, say, 5,500 sales to get into the top 10. I mean, we've got 27,000 likes on the Facebook page, so if everyone bought at least one download, we'd get straight in. But it is very difficult these days, getting people to part with money for music. I mean, it's only 69p from Amazon, but it is proving difficult.
Yeah, and there's a few different remixes as well, so people can buy different versions, and all those count to the chart, don't they?
Yeah, there's the two original versions from 1991, then we've got 8 new remixes, and they all count, so whichever one you buy, it does count towards the end chart.
Yeah, I just want to see people going around the club shouting, top one, nice one, get sorted again.
That'd be a turn up for the books, that would.
And probably wearing fighter pilot masks as well, with an A on the front. That was your idea, wasn't it, Mark?
It was one of the ideas that we had to try and cover ourselves up, so that people didn't know who we were, because we were recording under a different name as well as the alternate name. So it wasn't, like a mass idea to try and get a certain image. It was just purely so people didn't know who we were. But it seems to have stuck.
Yeah, and another big story for Alternate was the PA video shoot outside Shelley's as well.
Yeah, that was to actually film a video for Activ 22 years ago. So we needed to get some decent footage, and thought that it would be a great idea to put on a bit of a PA in the car park at 2:30 in the morning, and it was going swimmingly. We were getting loads of good footage until the police came and asked us to turn it off nicely.
I just think how amazing it was that thousands of people used to head up to Longton. If you drive around Longton now, you would never have imagined how many people were there. It was early doors on a Saturday waiting for the club to open.
Yeah, and it wasn't just local people either. I mean, there was people from all over the country. I mean, bumped into people from London in there, people from Wales, and there was people far north of Scotland. So, it really had a bit of a draw, that club did. Yeah,
and there's some great footage on YouTube. I know nowadays with camera phones, it's really easy to get footage, but somebody probably had a massive camera going around taking them stills and that footage. Yeah, really good times.
It's got a bit of a spotlight on the top of it as well, so you knew when it was coming.
Yeah. Well, it was happy days, and I wish you all the success in the world with getting into at least the top 10 on Sunday. You've got some big competition there, but it would be brilliant for the area and the dance scene as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of competition with the likes of Lily Allen and a multi-million-pound campaign and the X Factor thing, obviously, and then you've got AC/DC. But you know, we're fighting for Staffordshires corner.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Well, thanks a lot for coming on the line.
Lovely.
Are you really, really busy?
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.